All right. All right, guys. So today is 5th of July, Sunday. Um, I'm going to talk about the Lava Debit Card. I just recently was able to register for the card, and it's they provide a virtual card without any foreign exchange fee, and there's also no yearly annual fee as well. But what really caught my eyes is the 6.5% earned from for their revenue. Um, uh, well, we don't actually know because they don't disclose where the 6.5 APY comes from. But anyways, we're going to take a look what Lava is and what Lava is providing and how we can benefit from it. All right. So let us start. Why do I really care about, why do I am making this video? Why do I care about Lava Card? First thing first, we the people in the crypto industry, we have a lot of funds. We want to use them out in the open. We just doesn't know which provider have those accept accept Bitcoin and crypto. We have to admit, in the real world, not many shops are willing to accept all these cryptocurrencies because not many people are, well, according to my belief, are actually really suited to really trust your own money. With the finality, you cannot simply uh, pay and request for protection when it comes to cryptocurrency, right? Because once you transfer over, the finality is done. You couldn't do anything about it. And you have to have your own seed phrase for protection. There's no middleman, there's no curator, right? So it's actually very good to bypass any government. You are not being controlled. Your fund is actually your own fund. But the problem is, for the general population, they want security. If you want privacy, if you want control, then you have to give up security. It is on you 100%, which, well, it's been 10 years, right? Ever since the crypto industry is booming, and you have to accept 90% of the people aren't really doesn't really care about all of these crypto things. And they just want to know how they could make profit, but they doesn't care about all the technology behind, and they also doesn't care whether they should have the security to take care of their own money. They just want to know how they can profit from it, and the rest is not important. So what I'm telling you is, for us people who really care about security and privacy, we have to consider which platform is good for us and how we can move forward and take care of all the things of the daily things, from crypto on chain to off ramp, to the offline things, and how we could use, let's say, buying purchase of groceries for everyday uses. So recently there's been a lot of debit cards coming out. Well, I think very first guy who introduced debit cards for me is a Cipher, and then there's Cipher, the dog logo, and then there are many other platforms such as Ether Finance, EtherFi, and there's like the Scroll one, the Startnian one, the Ready card. I even got myself a few cards like this, the Avicii card, right? It's the neobank. They promote themselves as the neo-banking system. I also got myself the Ready debit card, which it had already been frozen because it doesn't comply to the Europe new regulation. I was also given some a card by the Tevao. It's like a Chinese Singaporean company, I never actually uses it, and there's other cards such as the what's that, the one on Solana. I don't really remember because we registered so many of them, and some even charge us horrendous fee for it. And there's other hidden fees like the FX fees. There's annual fees, and recently I've just moved from Ready to uh Plasma, but there's also some hidden Plasma thing that uh, doesn't tell you about, right? So I'm going to go review all of this with you guys. I'll keep it short, at least 30 minutes for this live stream to explain why I'm using Lava at this moment. And I really like the idea of using Lava and getting a cashback here, right? So I'm not asking you to cancel any other cards. I think they have their own uses, such as I'm using Plasma, I'm using Cascard, I'm using AVG. I have at least 5 active cards, Seppo card as well for BTC cashbacks, but only for certain users. All right. Right. So let's go to what I'm going to show you. Oh, all right. Here it is. This is the Lava website, right? So you're seeing this, the Lava. This thing's a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, like this, it should be fine. All right. You can see the website here. They're giving a 6.5% APY. This is the main website. The sales point in Lava is telling you how much they're using Bitcoin to access liquidity without selling it. So it's actually their. So we don't like putting our Bitcoin to use. It's only for safekeeping, right? So we don't know money from it, and you pay interest back to them. The interest rate is about 6.5. See here, 6.5 to 8%. There's like 2% fee on it too. So there are other options like you can directly transfer to ACH or FedWire directly to a US bank. That still doesn't support international bank. Most of their companies are customers, clients based on the US. So there are other features other than borrowing BTC. You can buy BTC at zero fee. You could access a 6.5 yield, and you could also earn Bitcoin by using the Lava card. But they're putting it exactly up to 5%, but not every purchase is get a 5%, right? So let's go to this first. You see this? You see this logo? These are the partners who will if you uses them, you will get a 5% cashback. So if you're not using any of these, well, any of these people, you won't get a 5% cashback. They will settle it in 1 to 3 days. So and you will see the cashback being returned to your wallet within 1 to 3 days. So it's actually pretty convenient, but it's really restricted to like all of these 18 guys for the 5% uh cashback only at the moment. So if you guys like me who uses a lot of open AI or Anthropic's Claude, so it'll be useful. And also this, I'm looking to purchase some Apple products, so I think it's the 5% cashback really helps with getting returns. Netflix is something like, well, you could waste your time, your money on it, right? So Amazon is another thing. Okay, so once we're done here, I'm going to show you the internal panel of the Lava card. Once you have registered, you have done the KYC, you will be able to access a few things like the home. You can see a portfolio. So it's like Plasma, where it's divided into two wallets. One is your own wallet. Secondary one is the earn wallet. So if you click on the yield, you could actually deposit some money into the yield and earn daily funds. So they doesn't pay you from they don't pay you block by block. Instead, they pay you daily on the yield. So I have Lava doesn't really disclose how you how they pay you the 6.5% fee. And if you're guys like me who have passed the Luna, yeah, I'm telling the Luna by Do Kwon, they have a bank in Luna. And the Terra UST, they give out an 16 to 18% APY for you just putting the USD into the bank. So we're really careful about how we're dealing with Lava. Is this another pyramid scam from Lava? So I really want to know how much cash they have. First thing first, they give us 6.5% APY. That's according to what they say, but they doesn't say how much liquidity is available from it, and it's really hard to track them on chain. And that's the first thing you have to do is you have to actually deposit to Lava, and then you have to personally check on chain. I did it by SoulScan, so I was able to track where the Lava USD is, how much Lava USD they have. Concern because you see this is the Lava USD. As you can see, there's only 1,068 holders. There's like the percentage over 67%. It's by a single account, and they hold like 3.2 million USD, and the rest is smaller guys. And it's really to me it like an uneven distribution. So why does this big guy have a 3.2 million? Lava doesn't really disclose it. We don't really know who these guys are, whose wallet it is, because well, they doesn't talk about it. So if you're asking me, as long as they have a 4.6 million, I think it's not really too dangerous, right? But if you cut this whale off, then the like actual liquidity is only like 1.6 million. So if you doesn't deposit much, I think it's all right. I don't recommend anyone putting too much deposit in here, because to me it's like, does it look like it's a Ponzi to me? Not yet at this point. Not yet. At 6.5%, if you're, let's say if you're really dumb, you don't know what you're doing, you could put just your money into some pools, like say Morpho or Lending or what Aave or even Plasma. You could earn up to 4% APY, right? So they're giving like 6.5%. It's like 2.5% additional. Also, if you at this moment you go to Jupiter Lending, Jupiter have a 5% APY on USDC alone. So 6.5% isn't really much. It's not dangerous, because well, if you minus the safety, let's say the safety net is at 5%, so a 1.5% difference doesn't really, I don't think it won't make Lava go bust anytime soon. At least not this year, not next year, unless they do something funny. So just keep track of this pool. So as long as they have money inside, I don't think they'll go anywhere. Uh, the Lava. This is the official Lava underscore XYZ is the official page for Lava. The issue is they have been updating the Lava website, X, for quite, I'd say they're doing a good job, but not really much. There's very hardly any attractions. People are hardly commenting. I did ask them how the 6.5% APY is received. They doesn't really answer. I'm not going to ask them again. I think let's just see how they're working on it, and yeah, see, I'm not the only guy asking how did they manage to get a fixed rate, and they don't even bother answering it, which who knows. Okay, so you can see you have to be careful about the Bitcoin reward. I did mention you get up to 5% APY, 5% cashback, right? You will get them in Bitcoin, but in order to withdraw, you have to get at least 100,000 satoshis sats. So that's equal to 0.001 BTC. At the current price, BTC is like 62K. So that's like 62 dollars. So 5% you have to be using like 3,000 USD before you can actually withdraw the reward. It's actually not bad if you're using Bitcoin for like if you're using the debit written in the fact that I'll open later that the cashback 5% is only for those 18 shops, and if you're an US buyers you get like 3%, and if you're an international buyer you get like only 1% cashback, but at zero FX fee, right? Okay, so let's see what I was using before this was plasma card. I'm not really an early user. Just once they had public the public plasma card, I register on them. I use uh, the free light card. They give out like 2% cashback, and then like 2 weeks ago they released the core card and gave out free card to the existing light users like me. All of these are virtual cards. So the issue is when you check how what is the type of cashback they're giving it. I think Plasma is really playing mind games with you, because they say the base cashback is 3%, but when you actually calculated it, they only give the 3% on the first $1,000. They gave another 2% on the next $1,000, and another only 1% on the next $1,000. So if you're using any more than $3,000, you will get only like 0.225% cash. First $3,000 you spend with Plasma card, you'll get like 60 $60 cashbacks. That's like only a 2%. So whooping 2% only. That's pretty low for a crypto debit card. And there are other alternative like, well, Cash card, this guy, but Cash card, they have some hidden things. They give out a reward for you for using their card, a cashback reward. Uh, the valuation of that token is like 1 billion, but who thinks a debit card will reach 1 billion? Maybe for the first few days, then they will definitely drop. And we also don't know what's the vesting schedule. So Cash cards giving like 7% APY. Oh, sorry, they're like giving like up to 3% cashback. But a big disclaimer here: it's in the cash token reward. That doesn't give instant reward to you. So the differentiator between our cards and Lava is Lava like staple card. If you're like me who has a staple card, just it's staple card cashback. So if you're like me who uses a staple card, they used to give like 1% cashback, but now they're giving like 3% cashback for taxi rides, Lyft, Uber. So it's actually pretty good for you if you're a mail card user like me. So but for other spending, it's like 1%. So there's no difference. But the problem with Sable is they have our fees. They have like annual fee. They have FX rates. So overall, Lava is still winning in the card zone, and they have no cap on the spend as of now. Okay, so let's go back here and see the general. What is Lava? They're marketing themselves as the a Bitcoin line of credit. So if you have a Bitcoin, you doesn't want to sell, you need to use some cash, you can withdraw from Lava and they give you like some funding. You just pay them back plus the APY per day. Definitely, I think per day, because the fixed APY that they give to the borrower for the yield is also being given back by per day. So usually annual capital charge at 2%. And then there's additional fee at I think like 6 to 8%. So if you guys are interested to use Lava and using Bitcoin as collateral, you can check it out here. They've recently marketed themselves toward institution. So I think I'm looking at some positive reward here. See, uh, so I'll just skip all the Bitcoin line of credit because it's very straightforward. I don't use them. I put my Bitcoin just for safekeeping. I think you should. I don't think Bitcoin is, unless you're like a trader or you're like a financial guy who knows what you're doing, then you may calculate the APY and it's better to earn some fees from them. But like if you're like me, who like a passive investor, I kept Bitcoin for 10 years. I don't use them, and I'm continuously DCAing on Bitcoin. So it's really matter that I think you should consider you should know what you're actually doing, right? So I'll focus on the Lava card. So Lava card is a card that have no annual fee, no FX card, earn up to 5% cashback. uh they doesn't give, in order to spend you have USD. So it's actually similar back office to Plasma. There's really no other um there's like no other, I don't think there's no other incentive of using Lava Card other than the cashback, right? But they doesn't have any FX fee, so it's really convenient if you doesn't have better option to do it. Okay, but just beware, there are some limitations. It doesn't uh, Lava Card doesn't give cashback on fines, tax payment, insurance, um, rentals, elementary schools. Well, yeah. You see, uh, so other things, I think it's like pretty standard. So just keep in mind. See, you have to have at least 100,000 satoshis, so that's equal to 0.001 Bitcoin in order to withdraw those rewards. So if you're not using Lava card or crypto debit card that much, then it doesn't matter much to you. You have to consider the cashback too. Maybe you're better using cash card, right? All right. So they're Visa based, all right. So they're Visa based. Plasma is also at the moment Visa based. The reward rate is they're very clear. For the partner merchants, it's 5% in cashback. For other eligible, if you're a US guy, you get like 3%. Well, good for you. If you're like me, it was like in Asia, you will only get a 1% cashback in Bitcoin. As someone who has been using Sapo is also the same 1% Bitcoin, but we keep Bitcoin, so no problem on it. Right. So I think this covers all about Lava. I don't really know what else to say about Lava card. There, I've been using the card only like twice. I can't really compliment them. What they do. I didn't know my friends recommend me early in 2026, but because there's no OTP coming to me, I couldn't register, and also the KYC process for Lava takes like forever. It took me like 2 months just to get KYC approved. Uh, there's something Lava need to improve, really. Uh, Well, some people made a complaint. They like get approved in like 7 days, but me, it took me like 1.5 months. Oh, that's almost 2 months. It's it. I thought I was giving up. Well, never mind them. But when I saw that Plasma was giving me like 2% cashback only for the cap of 3,000 US dollar, I think I need to find an alternative at this moment. Okay. Right, so I think this is all for Plasma. I don't think I can find anything else that's interesting. So, all right. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll conclude my video here. We've almost been 30-minute marks. I have a few other things I want to mention about Thailand, which I went to a 7 days meditation retreat. I think it really necessary for everyone. If you're a human, no matter what religion you are, the meditation is a way of life. It helps you to balance between spiritual and mental and mentality. Right. I've been working all my life. I work a lot. I slept like 2 3 a.m. I work in front of my computer. I goes out. We do the export stuff from Thailand, from Asia to the West, and we also import things from China, India, from also America. So we have a lot of things going in my businesses. Although I try to settle down, I try to reduce my workload, but it's still very, very stressing. I haven't been taking care of my mental health. And I think the 7 day meditation retreat really, really helped me to balance my life, balance my mentality. It helps me spiritually. Also, I'm not a Buddhist, I'm a Muslim, but I think meditation really helps, and they teach you how to do it properly, right? So I'm going to make a video about meditation soon. I think it'll be very interesting for you guys. I really want to share it with everyone in the world. It's something like amazing Thailand, and if I'm not here, I won't even know the actual standby. You have to keep your alert open all the time to keep the meditation going. Uh, if I'm very sure if you're whatever you are, a foreigner or tourist, or even if you're local Thai, it really, really helps with your life. Very, very good. Okay, so I'm closing my live here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to keep a wallpaper for like another 2 or 3 minutes, and then shut the stream down. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.